Hello there. Mic check, testing, 1, 2, 3, mic check. How we doing, boys and girls? Welcome in. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How we all doing? Yes, I'm alive. I'm all good. I'm alive. I need to do more to maybe let people know when I'm not planning on streaming, rather than just disappearing for a few days. I apologise for that. Real life got in the way the last few days. Nothing serious. Nothing to worry about. But let's turn the tunes down just a touch. But it's time to play some WoW. Time to play some catch up. A little bit of news because I need to refresh what's going on. More than anything else, though, we want to jump. I think today's a PTR day. I want to jump onto the PTR. I just want to have a poke about. I want to see what's what, see what it's coming together. My suspicions are pretty strong that we're going to get a release date in soon, very, very soon, I think. We all kind of know that 10.2 is going to launch just after BlizzCon. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to work this sort of stuff out, but I suspect, considering the last two PTR patches have been pretty light, that we're rolling in close now. We're rolling in. The sky is falling. Token prices are doing an absolute madness, aren't they? Token prices are going bananas. I guess we don't need that anymore. Go away, silly crocs. What's the token price doing right now? The whole world seems to be on fire about the fact that the EU and NA token prices are the same. I even had people telling me, I told you so, on Twitter. It's like I would have had no doubt that the token price would have gone up. I just did not expect them to both go up quite as fast or... Dog! Shush! We've been out on walks. You've had all of your feeding. Now go relax. You've got to do some streaming. Dogs are going mental. They've clearly got used to me not making a lot of noise. That's it. You go lie in your bed. Yeah, there was no doubt that the token was going to go up. It was just quite surprising to see how rapidly it went up. And equally, how much NA... I mean, NA token is at 350 now, which is, I guess, kind of more sensible. Still kind of more than what you'd expect it to be, but it's more sensible. Can start to see Blizzard going forward with an X-Pack and 2 big patches and going for 18 months per expansion. I'm almost going to go as far as to say they're pushing slowly but surely for this 12-month expansion cycle. They've clearly figured out that it's an expansion that brings people to the game, and if they try and, the more content they produce, the more subscribers they lose to other games and other things. A 12-month... I don't know how much... this has got to have come... This has got to be... This has got to be Activision influence somewhere along the lines. Look at things like Call of Duty, right? COD has had yearly launch... Dogs, will you chill? Relax. What's up? One of my dogs. They're both female dogs, by the way. Not this one. The brown one that sat next to me. It's her lady time at the moment, and she gets really whingy because she can't get comfortable. I feel for her, but she's a pain in my ass sometimes. I have a sneaky suspicion that we are going to start seeing, or we are going to start to see shorter expansions. Shorter expansions makes a lot of sense business-wise, because heck, more money, right? So if you can get $60 out of everybody every single year, and then charge them a monthly fee to play the game, you're cashed in, right? I suspect that a few people will start to get a little bit kind of frustrated if they do go that direction. But, you know, yearly titles is a thing. Yearly titles is definitely a thing. If they are able to, you know, restructure. Booze. Relax. They clearly don't have any, you know, issues with, like, storylines and that sort of stuff. So, I mean, if they can keep the patch cadence shorter, if they can keep, you know, a launch raid and one or two bonus raids on top, sure, it's all good for me. Short expansions is awesome for content creators too. I mean, there is definitely that aspect of it. Now, obviously, Blizzard couldn't care less about their content creators. To be honest, the content creators are just free marketing for them. But yes, you are entirely right. Welcome in, K-Chat, by the way. But, yeah, the suspicions are there, aren't they? The suspicions are there. The, 10.7, the Forbidden Reach. I have a sneaky suspicion that the Forbidden Reach was, you know, I've had this thought since we got it, and it felt odd when we got it. I thought for a while that the Forbidden Reach could have been an entire tier zone in and of itself, but for whatever reason, maybe it was a touch too small. Maybe they had this plan, you know, for a long time. Wait, go lie down. Maybe they had this plan for a long time that they, you know, were going to do a shorter expansion. They're like, well, we've got this zone. A 0.7 patch doesn't seem like the most, you know, should we just give it to people? They probably went by the theory it's better to give it to people than just to bench it. What we don't realize, I don't necessarily think that most people realize this. If you've ever worked in the game development space, I haven't personally, but I've seen this multiple times, is you underestimate just how much content for video games is made and that you then never see. It never, you know, never even hits public testing, doesn't go anywhere. Huge, great big, like in other games, it could be entire levels, entire story arcs. Huge amounts of content is often created that is never quite right for the direction the game wants to go in, and it just gets sidelined. It just gets benched completely. I think the Forbidden Reach was almost that. It didn't really fit the story narrative they were trying to tell with Dragonflight to be its own big zone, but they'd already got it, and so they were like, wow, you know what, we can, you know, put a little bit more effort into and give it in a 0.7 patch. Give it something for players to go and do quite quickly, and I think that kind of worked. I don't feel as if it really had legs to have been like a patch zone. My worry though is when you look at the final expansion zones of the past few expansions, should we say. So let's just go back to, so Shadowlands, we finished off Shadowlands in Zereth Mortis. In my opinion, a really strong finish. Zereth Mortis was really strong, I think. It took a lot of the chaos that went on in Shadowlands and sort of like packaged it up nicely and was like, right, this is the last thing. We're going into a new expansion next. And so Zereth Mortis was a lot more soft, is the right word. A lot of Shadowlands was very hardcore, very harsh, very pointy, very jagged. You get to Zereth Mortis and it's all like funky futuristic robots and a bit softer and a bit more calmer. Zereth Mortis was a good way to finish the expansion off, and there was plenty enough content in there to keep people busy for a while. You go back to BFA. What was the finals? Well, we didn't really so much as get new final zones, but we got, you know, a couple of zones with an alternate timeline. At least gave us something to keep us busy with towards the end of Battle for Azeroth. Not as strong as a finish. The Emerald Dream, though, I'm really, really worried from everything I've seen so far, and I'll get some auctions listed, and we'll go and have a poke about at this in a minute, because I think the PTR realms are back up. But I really, really, really do worry that 10.2 is just an absolute copy-paste of 10.1, and that it's going to really mean that Blizzard are going to want to very, very, very proactively rip us out of Dragonflight, out off the Dragon Isles, and send us somewhere else. Just you know, more as a distraction. By that logic, Shadowlands is the 0.7 expansion. I suppose kind of sort of makes sense. Do we have K-Chak to blame for the token prices? I doubt it. The man's been globe hopping from what I've seen. I'm not even sure if well, I'm sure he'll tell you himself. Haven't touched token prices this time. Just got back from 2 weeks vacate. Yeah, there we go. There we go. I don't think content creators or goblins have anything to do with this token shenanigans. I don't think they've. I mean, I don't. For starters, there's not enough of us. To assume one player could have an influence over an entire region is mental. You can content creators get put on a pedestal a little bit just because they're kind of known by a lot of people, but it rarely means they have any sort of actual influence on how the game plays out. And there's no the amount of transactions that happen on the auction house, the amount of realms, the amount of materials, the amount of stuff. The amount of, transactions that happen on a daily basis, one or two goblins or even a handful of goblins are going to have basically no ability to control anything ever. The only thing they could, in theory, do is if they took 50 million gold and tried to cash out. The problem is you can't particularly cash out that fast on the premise of the fact that there's a limit to how much Battle.net you can use anyway. And there's also a limit to what you'd probably want to buy in the Battle.net store. The only other alternative is if you were doing slightly more black hat methods, which I'm quite sure you would probably, if you were smart enough to be able to generate that much gold in the first place, the likelihood is you wouldn't also be stupid enough to cash out that many game codes in one go, because you would put yourself on Blizzard's radar within a matter of minutes. So I really don't think goblins have anything to do with it, to be honest. I blame the near non-stop Battle.net store updates. I swear every other week there's a new deal appearing. Well, that for sure is a thing. There's no doubt that it feels like they're pushing a lot more store stuff at the moment. Dog, relax. Relax. You're all horned up, aren't you? You can't wag your tail at me. We've been on a long walk this morning. You've been fed. It's time to relax. Lord. I bought out all the available tokens on a region a few times before, but oddly it doesn't seem to make the price change that much as you would think. I remember when the token was first implemented, they did a little blog post or something, sort of briefly outlining how the token was planned to work. And there was limits set in place. So you couldn't get these outrageous spikes. But they were percentage based, and the likelihood is over the years they've tweaked the percentages. It was something like there could never be more than like a 5% swing in the price of the token. So if they were all bought out, then well, you were just shit out of luck, you know. There weren't going to be tokens for a while. The price wouldn't dramatically spike because of that, though. I poured close to 50 million into Diablo Immortal, bought the tokens in 2 batches, couldn't see any influence on the token price by that. Yeah, this is it. I don't think individual people doing it, I don't think is going to have much of an effect at all. It's a combination of factors, all right? It's a combination of the fact that I think pretty aggressively since, well, we had a concoction, we had the stars align for other content really over the summer, didn't we? We had the launch of Diablo 4, which without question made people cash out a bit of gold if they had it to turn it into Blizzard Balance, to at the very least help pay for Diablo. Let's not forget Diablo was $100 if you paid into it big time. So people clearly were cashing out for Diablo. On top of people cashing out for Diablo, even people that weren't cashing out to play Diablo, a vast majority of the player base just put World of Warcraft down and went and played Diablo. We also had, what else did we have over the summer? We had just a flurry of really good games over the summer, which is one of the reasons why I think Blizzard hemorrhaged players. 10.1, Zaralek Cavern, Niffens. People were geared to the teeth within minutes. It was a really fast patch for gearing, which I feel only then allowed more people to say, you know what, I'm done with this patch. I'll come back next patch. We've not really had anything so far that's been super attractive to bring people back. Oh, and let's not forget Classic and Hardcore Classic being launched as well. Big reason for people to put retail down and go do something else. And in Hardcore Classic terms, you've got 2 additional options there. You've got people cashing out their gold for game time. Let's look at people who play the game consistently on retail and usually probably passively, actively, whatever the case may be, make a token's worth of gold every month or so just by playing the game. You then would find, though, that if those players went and played hardcore, they would be keeping their subscription running, because you still need a subscription for hardcore, even though the game is free. You need your subscription running, but you wouldn't be passively be making that gold in the first place. More importantly, if you're playing hardcore, you have no real incentive to buy tokens so much, because you're not playing retail. So there's been a concoction of reasons to why I think that, everything's flipped on its head a little bit. People have dipped, people have gone off and they've played other things. I know I'm probably allowing my personal experience to jade my opinion of this a touch, because I've not exactly been the most active in WoW the last few months. But, I think all of that adds up. All of these little scenarios, they add up to create a situation where the token is just zoomed to the moon. So few people have any real good reason to buy gold with their credit card, e.g. the purchase of a real token to sell on the auction house, meaning the supply of them is probably less and less and less. I think the limit was around 3% up or down. Yeah, there was some threshold that they attached to the token to make sure that it couldn't go from 100k to 300k overnight, sort of thing. But I haven't played since just before 10.15. But I haven't played any other of those big games. I mean, some people just take a break, it's summer. Like, I suppose if you're Team Australia, it's probably not summer, is it? But, Northern Hemisphere people tend to just, have less reason to sit down and play video games aggressively in the summer because the weather's nice. In the winter, it's much easier to hermit inside and just play video games all day. A lot of winter sports in Australia. I mean, yeah, your world famous snowboarding competitions, right? Has Australia ever seen snow? Do Australians know what snow is? And not the white powder that sometimes makes it up your nose in the nightclub. Australians do very well in the Winter Olympics. You actually do, thinking about it. You actually do. How is that a thing then? Educate me. Educate me, team Australia. Yes, we have snow. I don't know. Maybe I'm ignorant about these things. New South Wales, Victoria, Tasmania, all the mountains that have snow. Oh, I see. Okay, fair.
Be careful.
I apologise. I just always think of Australia as just a big desert. That's all. Like in my mind, there's a few cities around the edge, and in the middle is just a big desert with the odd kangaroo. That's my only impression of Australia. It's a terribly stereotypical one, but it's what it is. We didn't fit much in our inventory then. Either that or that bag filled up very quick.
Hail.
You're not wrong. Australia's just too far away for me. It's just too... You're too damn far away. You're literally on the opposite side of the globe from all directions. You couldn't be further away. It'd be easier to get to the moon than I reckon it is to get to Australia sometimes. There's the red dirt desert, tropical rainforests, great beaches, snowy mountains. We've got it all. We're just in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, Mother Nature put you like as far away from everything as humanly possible. Australia is fantastic beaches with surfers and kangaroos and giant spiders. Finland is infinite snow, reindeer, polar bears in every backyard, and hockey rinks in between. That's a pretty good description of the two geographical locations, yeah. It's not bad at all. Both nations like a drink. It's got to be said. Both nations like a drink. Through hot weather or cold. The things in nature that will kill you in Finland tend to be big enough that there isn't that many of them. The problem with Australia, I think, is the things that can kill you are things you're not even going to see. You're going to put your foot in a shoe and a scorpion's going to eat your toe and then you're dead. Congratulations, well done. You lucked out on the natural lottery. Fun fact, Australia is wider than the moon. I don't know, the moon's only like this. If you close one eye, the moon's only like this big. It's tiny. Tiddly little thing.
Goodbye.
Because that's obviously the scientific way of measuring anything. How big does it look when you close one eye? Is it... Okay, what's going on here? Not burning through this very fast.
Well,
I'm not paying much attention, that's probably why. We are going to spend most of today on the PTR. I just wanted to get my auction. Because if you don't list things, you don't sell things. If you don't sell things, you become team poor. And we don't want to be in team poor. But yeah, most of the day I reckon I'm going to spend on the PTR. I want to start doing just some like, I really feel as if there's a huge amount that's going undocumented. Relying on patch notes is terrible at this time because there's absolutely nothing profession related in any of the patch notes. So I need to do a little bit of digging, look through some of the professions, see if we can spot anything new. I heard one of the universally accepted ways of measuring things in America is along with how many football fields or how many hamburgers big it is. That's true. This building is 700 Big Macs tall. Big building. The length of a football field. See in the UK, we're so British about it. We compare everything. Mrs. Manthias pointed this out to me the other day. Mrs. Matthews pointed out, she was like, why do you measure things in double-decker buses? I was like, yeah, that's a very English way of measuring things, isn't it? As long as his throws as long as 2 double-decker buses. Huh? What? Sure. It's a very English way. 90k? What did we sell? Oh, we sold our... Okay. Primal Batskin gloves. Primal Batskin jerkin. A full icy scale set. I didn't even know I had a full icy scale set. Some fell leather boots for 22,000 gold. Get in. Fell leather boots. There's no way fell leather boots are worth that much. Ledger, revenue. Fell leather boots. Kutching. All day long. Like 1,200 gold crafting cost. Is it Mage Tower gear? Is that what it is? I don't even think it is. Requires level 27. It's too low for leatherworking. This is old TBC stuff. This could just click. Is it a unique appearance even? Can't tell from here. Who cares? I'll take it. Loot and bank. Sounds like a flip. Did somebody buy mine to... I've sold 3 of these, though. Not an uncommon seller, to be honest. 22k is the highest we've ever sold one for. Cheapest being 5k. Either way, cash in the bank. Average price of 12k on an item that costs 2k to make. Sure. All you need is 10 or 20 of those sorts of things, and you're good to go. It reminds me, I could do with that. Could do with doing a full recraft, if I'm honest, but that can always wait. Maybe that's where Blizzard will take us for the next expansion for WoW. Australia. Can you imagine kangaroo mount in WoW? It would be a 2-player mount, but it'd have to be you'd ride on the back of the kangaroo, and you'd have to have like a small, like a gnome or a Vulpera or something in the pouch. That'd be cool. Starts to get a little bit wacky, but it'll be cool. Koala pets. And now I want a kangaroo mount. I think it'd be cool. Although everything I've ever seen of kangaroos is that they are violently vicious things that you do not want to get anywhere near at all costs. Kangaroo is not your friend.
May the eternal sun shine upon thee.
A dragon riding version of a kangaroo. That could be quite fun. Right, let's exit out of this one. Let's jump on the PTR. Let's see what's what. 10 to PTR. Go gadget. Are we going to load? Hello. Computer. Game do game things. Does anybody know if Arclight Rumble will be playable on the PC? Not natively. There is no plans as of yet that are publicly known for Rumble to be integrated to Battle.net. But never say never. It's currently iOS and Android only. That's not to say you can't. That's not to say you can't play it on the PC though. I, for example, use BlueStacks. BlueStacks is a Android simulator, basically. So I can load Rumble and it loads BlueStacks, and then it loads. This just simulates. I think this just simulates. I don't know, Samsung phone or something. RIP Windows Phone. Well, true. Obviously, this still requires you to be geographically in a location where you're allowed to play Rumble, which is only a handful of countries right now. A bunch of Nordic countries, the Philippines and Canada, I think, are pretty much the only places that can play Rumble so far. You can, you know, if you're smart enough, though, make your computer believe you are in one of those locations. I am a Clash enjoyer, but have been slowly getting into Rumble. Incoming NordVPN sponsor. I use ExpressVPN. And I genuinely actually do use ExpressVPN. I've had an ExpressVPN subscription for ever. But no, I must admit I'm a bit of a fan of Rumble so far. I'm not taking anything in Rumble too seriously. Hang on, we've got about 12 different versions of tunes going on here. Even I can hear 3 different types of music. There we go. Yeah, Rumble is publicly available November 3rd. So that's going to coincide with BlizzCon. Surprise, surprise. Do we have an Arclight Surge up? Oh, we do. This is cash monies in the bank here. How's the guild doing on rewards? Doesn't look like many people have done the Arclight Surge yet. And I did a little video that I did a video on my Rumble channel talking about, you know, is Rumble pay to win or not? And I went with the approach of, well, I think I say at the beginning of the video something along the lines of, I've lived on the internet for long enough to realize that some people's definition of pay to win varies massively. But the thing to know is that, yes, you can spend money in here. And given your level of desire, you could spend a lot of money in here. But I've been playing the game 95% free to play and have been having a blast so far. So take that, you know, as you wish. For the most part, I've not been doing too much PvP though. I've been mostly doing the PvE side of the game. I am getting there with the PvP, but I'm still not particularly high ranked. I'm in silver right now. Bronze and bright spark levels is like tutorial mode for the PvP side of things. It doesn't start to get serious until you get into silver. When you get into silver, it becomes more pay to win. The early stages, everything is all of your minis are brought down to level 1 while you're still in Bronze League. As soon as you hit silver though, what it does is it divides your minis level by 3. So if you've got, say, for example, the maximum mini level is 30. So in essence means the maximum you can have is level 10 minis. But nobody's getting to level 30 anytime soon. Some of my minis are like between 11. Most of them are all at least level 11. 11 and 15 is about where I've got them to now. 15 is a good sort of... 13, 14, 15 is a good place to be if you are free to play and playing semi-actively. Let's see what's going on anywhere here. Beast and Blackrock. Sapper Time. I can't remember what Sapper Time does. Let me use this dude. 2 sappers spawn at each base every 15 seconds. Oh, okay. That's easy win then. That's easy loot. Free money. Quite literally free money. And with that, we'll be in the PTR in 270 minutes. I'll just do a quick game of this, just for demonstration purposes. And then we'll get to the PTR. Let's go one of you. Let's go one of you. These towers are kind of frustrating. But we can distract and we can win. We need lots of things that are going to keep these towers. Alright, you go that way. Get this little cobalt out to get me some gold. Tower down. Let's get this one. Distract it. Oh, damn. You took me out. Oh, no. This is all going horribly wrong. Oh, this has gone very wrong. Ah, how did this go so terribly wrong? I'd done goofed somewhere. I let my huntress die. That was the problem. Yeah, I need these dudes to not be on my case. Oh, shit. Okay. There's me saying easy money, right? That one's actually a bit of a tough cookie. I need to make sure that those zappers do not jump on my... Oh, this is PTR. This is always going to be a... Okay, let's play a little bit more of a defensive approach here then. And try and actually make sure that we take towers and keep them. Which is not so easy to be done when these things are on our case, like, permanently. Because how the Christ on a bicycle am I ever meant to keep this when these dudes keep doing a madness on me? Okay, we're good for 1 minute. Gotta distract. Gotta keep the Huntress alive. She'll kill anything within range. There we go. Got that back. Ah, I'm genuinely actually concentrating on this one. Oh dear, one more hit and we are done. Oh, if we can keep this tower, we're fine. No, we got this now. We got this now. I don't think I can fuck this up now, can I? Surely. Famous last words. Oh, it's chaos. Actual chaos. Nah, harpies are on the boss. Harpies on the boss, you instantly win. Woohoo! Sheesh. Can't fuck this up now. And so yeah, every time you win, one of your minis gets a little bit of experience, and the more games you play, the more experience your minis get. The higher your minis get, the more difficult bosses you can kill, and the you know, rinse and repeat. The Arclight Surges are good because they give you 60 gold per win, so that's what, like 150, 300, no, like 6 times, like 300 gold per surge, and there's 2 surges. So like 600 gold is available there. That 600 gold is going to be really useful for when you need to buy stuff in the store, which ends up being all the time. What are you? Regenerate 20% health every second. He gets one shot too quickly for that to be useful. Gain resistant whilst flying and armored whilst dismounted. Ooh. Is there any FOMO? Not really. What is in the store rotates. It drops down by 1 level every day. So, I mean, if there's something at the bottom, you know that these are going to disappear tomorrow. But they'll turn up again in the store. It's not like, it's not strict FOMO. Obviously, you probably, if there's something you really want, you might want to do something to really get it. But, yeah. When does the gold increase from 40 to 60? Is it after unlocking heroic? I think you need to buy the Arclight booster. Because I think the Arclight booster gives you a permanent 50% increase to your gold. There's a one-time booster that's like $20 or something. Which gives you a permanent XP increase. And I think it's 20% XP increase and a 50% gold increase. Which, my one recommendation for people is, if you are going to want to play this, it's difficult, right? Because you don't know if you're going to want to play the game for a long time until you play the game. But it's highly advantageous to buy that booster like the second it gives you the ability to, because you're going to get a lot of opportunity to get free gold right at the beginning of the game. And then that opportunity to get free gold dissipates very quickly once you've leveled up a bit. And so you want to take full advantage of that early, easy to get free gold and maximize it as much as you can. Because otherwise, if you want to get gold coins fast, this becomes your option. And not many people are going to want this option if there's another option available. But anyway, we'll play some more Arclight. I'll do more closer to the time. Obviously, most people can't even get their hands on this for a while. So closer to the time, we'll do some more dedicated content for this. But I'm having fun with it either way. Let's have a hoppity skippity around the PTR though. Let's switch this to give you guys some audio. Right, we're in. We're in. We are back in. Oh, the zone's looking. We've got a few more icons and stuff on the go now. Beneath the roots of Admirdrasil, the Dream Wardens gather to coordinate and protect the Sacred World Tree. Renown rank 0. Complete the Super Bloom events to earn more rewards. Plant Emerald Bounty Dream Seeds throughout the Dream. And check out the second YouTube channel. Well, yeah, and that, yeah. If Streamlabs was doing its thing, it would be telling you about that. Why is Streamlabs not doing its thing? Hello, Streamlabs? Why does Streamlabs periodically, from time to time, turn off Cloudbot? Cloudbot is the... I don't know why it does it. Streamlabs will turn up at some point and start telling everybody about stuff that I think they should need to know. We'll see if he turns up. Okay. So we're starting to see... Okay, the Emerald Frenzy is in different locations. The Emerald Frenzy is now also going to provide you a Dream Seed as well. That's interesting. It didn't used to do that. I guess that's going to make it a touch easier to get your hands on more Dream Seeds. I still clearly haven't figured out the lay of the land here.
I must get closer.
Maybe pulled a touch too much here. Backpedal like a pro. I would love it if Pet would take some aggro, if I'm honest. That would make my day much easier. Have I not played WoW for 3 days and forgotten how to hunter? Slumbering Dream Fragments times 16. Combine 5 of these to restore a minor dream once broken. 47 dewdrops. So yeah, I suspect what they've probably done is reconfigure-bobbed some of the values. I think this means that my original Super Bloom video is going to still be mostly correct. It's weird, right? When we first start to see these features on the PTR, my initial thought is, quick, let's make a video on this because it's the thing that's new this week and people might be interested in it. But in almost every circumstance, by the time it goes live, it's actually changed significantly enough that I feel it might be worth redoing the video again, which seems odd. There we go. Plump Dream Seed and a bit of Wonga. Okay. Didn't receive any... Did Nay receive any experience or anything for doing that? Combine. Here's a new dream. We can make quite many of these. We very, very quickly got enough slumbering dream fragments to make like 10 of these. Question is what's in the box? Does it rocks? Or is it rocks? Let's find out. A swirl and an apple. Okay. A grey and an apple. Mote of Dreams, Grotto Netherwing Drake. Okay, dragon riding appearance. Trash. A plump Dream Seed, so there's a chance to get more Dream Seeds out of these things. A small Dream Seed to go with our plump one. Another dragon riding appearance. So they don't seem to be too problematic. 424 bind on equip bow. 424 BOE. That's spicy. In comparison to what we have readily available to us right now, 424s. That's real spicy. I wonder if that's meant to be bind on equip. Is it weird how I naturally have this sort of anytime I see something be BOE nowadays, I kind of instantly assume it's broken because they've made so much soulbound and have limited stuff so aggressively. Curiosity, what are we looking at if we are to look at equivalent BOEs on the auction house right now? What would a 424 BOE weapon set you back right now? Not that today's prices will mimic tomorrow's prices, but ultimately might give you the incentive if you have BOEs which you are trying to sell for a high value now to maybe start getting rid of them a bit faster. So, okay, so 4 BOEs of that item level straight up don't exist right now. Dump them quick, LFR is going to start at 441. Yeah, I generally think that dumping them fast is not a terrible idea in the first place. The Volcano Spike, this was from TBC, this was from the Firelands raid, wasn't it? I think. But yeah, okay. If those end up being, if those stay bind on equip, that's a spicy meatball. Okay, so out of 10 of those boxes, we got 2 Drake appearances, items of value, two Grotto Netherwing Drake appearances, and a 424 bind on equip bow. I sense this is probably meant to be bind on pickup, so take that with a pinch of salt. But if 10.2 really is the last patch of Dragonflight, then I'm not surprised they keep Dracothists to save on dev time. Yeah, there's more and more reason to believe that Dracothists are not going anywhere, and that Zaralek glow spores are not going anywhere. So much so that people are, even people who are ahead of the game and very knowledgeable, are turning around and saying, looks like Dracothists are staying. Some military grade copium on that one. Well, there's more and more items that are appearing that seem to be referencing glow spores and bits and pieces. There's a lot more going on that sort of makes it feel as if actually they're not, you know, Dracothists are here to stay. With seemingly nothing new to replace it. There doesn't seem to be any new materials or anything like that. So it's like, maybe they are going to stay as what they are. Doing another bet on Dracothis. I'm not going to put my money where my mouth is. No, I'm not. I'm not doing anything quite as silly as I did 10-1. 10-1 was an expensive failure. One that I'm still recuperating the costs of for the most part, but oh, there's a bloom on at the moment. Health Spruce Crown, Bloom, Life Around, and Midrasil. Super Bloom is currently active. Weekly crest rewards from Claretta. Well, let's since I've not done this for a few weeks, let's go and see if this has changed in any way since we last did it. How do we get there? Checking. Hang on. I'm trying to do 2 things at once. Checking Wowhead and saw this. New H3 weapon appearances added. Oh, I'm not sure. I'll have a look at those in a minute. Let me. Why do... Oh. You're lurking behind. The Super Bloom. Cache of overblooming treasures contains a dream seed, bloomed treasures, and dream warden insignia.
Another time.
So this is going to be a weekly. Okay, this is good. They seem to have added more variations to the Super Blooms. I was hoping this would be the case. When we first tested these, every Super Bloom was exactly the same. And it would have led to them getting, you know, very samey very quickly. Rousing air. These start dishing out materials for people as well. I promised myself not to pull out my card, but I just bought the Arclight booster. I hope you could get a cut. This is actually one thing that's intrigued me in terms of... it's a wise move, by the way. I think you'll end up playing it. If you've been playing Arclight a little bit, I still call it Arclight. It's not called Arclight anymore, is it? It's called Rumble. I think if you, you know, $20, it's the only thing that gives you a permanent upgrade, which makes it feel very much worthwhile. Talking about the, no, I don't get a cut, but the one thing that games like Clash Royale have done previously is that they have done creator codes, meaning that prominent creators have a code, and if you then purchase something off the store, you use their code and you do get a percentage, which would be very nice, obviously. I don't think I'm a big enough creator to get that sort of luxury, even if they added something like that, but it would be kind of cool if they did. I mean, there were content creators that took advantage of this with Fortnite, for example, that are literally living off royalties from the use of their creator codes, like quite literally thousands upon thousands of dollars a month for all the kids buy in. What was the what was it? What was the microtransaction currency in Fortnite? I can't remember what it was called. It was something really gross. I genuinely can't remember what it was. It was plastered all over the internet for ages. But either way, every time you bought some of the in-game currency, you could put in a creator code, which was a nice bonus to help their content creators out. It's, if anything, it's a nice gesture of goodwill to say, right, you're creating content for this game that we produce. And this is the dev's way of sort of, you know, paying you back for that. Coming from MOBAs, the boost being permanent is kind of amazing. In Heroes, a lot of boosts like that would be 50% worse and only give you 2 months or so. Yeah, it's not uncommon for things to give you sort of like 50% XP bonuses and stuff, but like on temporary basis or attach it to a battle pass or something. This is why the Arclight boosters... The only real microtransaction store purchase I'd recommend in Rumble. You can get away without paying for anything else. You don't need to buy the gold, you don't need to buy the Arclight stuff. You can achieve all of that via free-to-play methods. It's almost, if you were going to play the games mostly free-to-play, it's almost more important to get that Arclight booster, because it means your free-to-play efforts are just better from the word go. And I'm not afraid of promoting a store purchase on a game that's free-to-play if it's something that is of value and will be of value long-term. This doesn't seem to have progressed properly. I'm wondering if this is a bit bugged still. Okay, we seem to have just gone a different route, but we've ended up in the same spot, which is interesting. We're at the same place. You come the other way normally. Okay, now he's got here. Now we defend. Did you just say free-to-play efforts are better if you spend money? A slight oxymoron for sure, but if you are going to go, if you were to spend any money, that is the best place you could spend your money. Let's put it that way then. If we're going to pick holes. Hey, Streamlabs has woken up. Welcome in, Streamlabs.
I require a target.
From what I can tell, the new crafting things are all about we're going to get for goal making. Do you see a new angle, or is there something else? The reason I've been remarkably quiet on patch 10.2 is for that exact reason. I don't see another angle. I think gold, people who are invested in trying to make more gold, it will just be a continuation of what you're already doing. I don't foresee there being any new big sort of system to play around with. It's looking more and more likely that Dracothists are here to stay, which in turn will mean glow spores are still a thing that you can farm for. Nax and the tier 3 stuff clearly isn't going to go anywhere anytime soon. As it's still, weirdly, if you have the ults, one of the best things you can be doing on a per hour basis, even if you're doing it one character at a time. 10.2 system wise, we're getting some refresh on the embellishments that people might want. So there'll be a handful of new recipes for crafters to hunt after, and a switch around in some of the embellishments that will be important. But there's not much, at least from what we've found so far. Now, I haven't been too actively looking, and I don't really trust patch notes to be 100% complete much anymore. At least for like goblinry stuff. There's always stuff we stumble across that is of big importance to somebody that likes to make gold in the game, but is never represented in a patch note. I mean, there'll always be something new to farm for. Let's not forget that. Like if you make most of your gold via farming, there'll always be something to go after, because there's always something new that people will want. The trick here is whether it's something that you can also sell. Now, we've already stumbled across the fact that there were BOEs dropping. 424 weapon BOEs, which are clearly going to be something that, at least in the early days, people will be quite keen to get their hands on. If maybe not for their mains, but for ults. You often don't need to really justify why somebody might want something. Just by virtue of it being new means that somebody will want it, and somebody will pay a lot for it because they don't have it. But yeah, we'll see. Big Italy, thank you very much for the prime, appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. I'll finish this Super Bloom, and then we'll have a little bit of a look through some of the professions, see if we can spot anything else that's new. Now, if there was new recipes are something that would be pawned up in data mining and would be pawned up in patch notes, so I'm not really too hopeful to find anything undocumented in that regard, but if you don't look, you don't know. Okay, Slumbering Dream Fragment, a small dream seed, some flight stones, some Dragonile supplies. Nothing too fancy. Sprouting Dream Trove. Some Dewdrops, some Dragonile, and Dragonile's cache, which contained yet more Dragonile supplies. We can make 4 more of these little boxes, 4 more renewed dreams. Haha! Another wild leaf longbow. Interestingly, a different item level, a lower item level. Okay. Wind Wolf cuffs. Ah, this is so the last patch of the expansion. There is no doubt in my mind this is the last patch of the expansion now. This is a really big indication to me that this is just the world drop end of expansion catch-up gear set that they're finally going to let you just throw on the auction house. So anybody and everybody can have access to 420-ish gear on their alts, like, instantly. 421, 424, 421. Yeah, okay. Okay. BOEs, thank you. Yeah, well, I mean, if nothing else, there's a good chance that these will have unique appearances as well. For a BOE bow, it's not bad. It's really not bad for a BOE bow. Handing out free stuff is always a good indication. Yeah. BOE, rare BOE upgradable drops. We've also seen the purchasable augment rune. 100,000 gold, by the way. Plant seed in this fertile soil, then nourish it into a bloom. Let's do that. Yeah, the unlimited use augment rune. We'll look at that in a little bit more detail in a minute. I think it's 100,000 gold though. It's not cheap. Inflation's kicking in. It was how much was it last expansion? 40k, 50k. How much was the augment rune in Zereth Mortis? Let's see if we can max this out. I don't know how many of these dewdrops I've got. You seem to be able to hand these in faster now. There's not a... Okay, I should have enough to max this out. Medium Emerald Bloom. Medium amount of Dragonelle supplies flight stones. Includes a very small chance to get the Winter Night Dream Saber mount. Have they added an epic one for if you max it out? Surely it should give you like a fully stacked one when it's full, right? No, it doesn't. Okay. So maybe you need to use the gigantic seeds to get an epic bag. Is the theory there? I guess whilst this is up and running, then let me just grab some more bits and bobs. Might as well try and get some more currency while we're at it. Will we get a rep discount on the rune? Or I don't think discount works on the renown reps. I mean, a discount on it would be nice. It still doesn't, it still makes it substantially more expensive than it's ever been.
I require a target. I need to target something first.
I'm not so much into the lore, so I don't know if stopping after 10-2 will mess the story, but the whispers of the new expansion might be with dwarves and underground. It's just so no more sniffing around in grubby caves, please. I think the zones are, I don't know. I have my preferred zone style. I'm still on record of, I still consider Zerith Mortis to be one of the best zones they've made in the last few years. Both from just a gameplay perspective, that I think it was not, Zerith Mortis was not perfect, but it was absolutely one of the best zones they've made in recent times. Najatar would be right up there with Mechagon if it wasn't for the fact that they made us walk through Najatar to begin with. That just frustrated me so much that I was borderline willing to it knocked it down a point or two just by the fact that it was, until you were revered and couldn't fly in the zone, it was chaotic as all hell. Suramar was a banger. Suramar was cool. Suramar was very cool. They have made some good zones. They've made some good zones. Zaralek Cavern, though, it's not on that list. It's not on that list. Zaralek Cavern doesn't do it for me. Now, obviously, this is a very subjective take. You know, my opinion on whether a zone. I mean, aesthetically, Zaralek Cavern. There's always the problem, right? There's a real distinct issue with trying to make a doomy, dark cave feel fun to be in. And what you have to make sure is that the content within the zone is extra flamboyant, extra interesting for people to do. And I don't think the digs thing, the little dig mini game, wasn't fun enough. It was too, I don't know, it was too, there was like some Winter Forager's longbow. Oh, that one's bind on pickup. So this one is now soulbound. So I seem to be able to get this bow quite reliably by being a hunter. But I'm likely to want to sell the lower one. Okay, the Explorer stuff's going to be bind on equip, bind on pickup for the better stuff. Okay, makes sense. A soulbound 1000 rep token. So your 1500 rep per week. Your 1500 rep per week can easily be done. 2/3 of it can easily be done by just completing a Super Bloom event. Okay. I should probably finish this because I want to see what's in this Satchel of Dreams. Where was I? Zaralek Caverns, the more just does nothing for me, and my shiny dragon, we need to rule the skies. I wonder what it is, because I love Deep Holm in Kata. What did... well, back in Cataclysm, you like Deep Holm, you had the intro quest thing where you were messing about on the flying ship and stuff. There was lots of fun aspects there. The questing zones felt interesting. You went off into the top corner and it was all big shiny gems and stuff. Even though it was a dark inside cave, they made areas of it which felt fun to explore. Yeah, like I said, I'm probably one of the least creative people on the planet. So I find it difficult to articulate why things feel good or bad.
Life is all around us.
But if you are going to make a dark, doomy, gloomy zone, you are going to have to do something special to make it so people want to still be there.
Wander where you will.
Greetings.
So these have had some updated values. This is the renowned quartermaster. Has the renowned path changed, actually? You've begun to gain renown with the Dream Wardens. Dreaming of riches. Find treasures at renown 2. Small dream seeds become purchasable at renown 3. Blooming proficiency. Additional dream fruit power during the Super Bloom event. Whelpling's crests. Flight stones. In touch with nature, seek out Ileana at the central encampment to begin infusing creatures with the dream. This is how you get some of the like green spectral variations of the pets and stuff. By the way, do you know what you've unleashed by showing me the WoW thing site? Oh, sorry. You see, these resources, they're handy things to know about, but it's kind of like all the things in terms of that all of a sudden it starts giving you information that blissful ignorance was the best solution previously. Not knowing that these things were a thing is sometimes the better solution, yeah. I get it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Drake Watchers 8. Dreaming. Plump dream seeds become available at 9. In your dreams. Oh, that's the tabard. Rep boost for alts at 10. 11 gives you touching grass. I still think the naming of this is fantastic. You now might find bigger treasures hidden in the Emerald Dreams at renown 11. You can start purchasing some pets. Spruce and Juniper from Moon Princess at the Central Encampment. 2 new pets become available at 15. Acquire Cosmetic Dream Warden tools at 16. Ensemble as well. 17. You may acquire the Sun-Touched Dream Stag and the Lunar Dream Stag. So 2 mounts become available at 17. Plus you can also then purchase gigantic dream seeds, which will presumably, when planted, give you the best opportunity to grow a mount that you don't already own. Dreambound. You may now purchase the Dreambound Augment rune from 18. So yeah, here we go.
Goddess, bless you.
So you're going to have to get to renown 18, and then you're going to need to find 100,000 gold if you want the Dreambound Augment rune. Wow. That's expensive. That's double what it was last expansion. It was 50k, right? It was 50,000 gold. But by the time you got to Revered, it was 40,000 gold, I think, if I remember correctly. I cannot remember, and I don't think you get reputation discount. So it could just be, boom, 100k. Woof. Spicy meatball. I thought it was steep at 50k. Yeah, you and me both. The augment rune. See, the difference is that this expansion, the augment runes are more expensive anyway because they're not getting mass created on the mission table. Aren't augment runes like 1,000 gold a piece or something nowadays? Do I have my other account open still? Oh dear, what's going on here? $1,600 gold per rune on the auction house right now. Yeah, okay. So maybe that's what they... Because this time, last expansion, they were 300 gold a piece. Which, at that sort of price, 50k, they've probably just looked at the average price of it and multiplied it by some number to create the vendor value. To make the value proposition the same. But obviously, if you were... You're probably less happy about spending 1,600 gold per rune in the first place, right? 63 dungeons and it's paid for. Assuming you have one up permanently in a dungeon, it's as far as I'm concerned, spending 2,000 gold to go get, what is it, like a handful, I can't remember, to gain 86 agility. I mean, I've got 86 agility on top of my 9,000 agility. It's not exactly, what's that, a 1%? 1% increase in agility? Like, it's, I know the way that buffs in the game works is the more of them you stack, the greater the benefit you get from them as a whole. So you either want to buff yourself to the hills or just not bother at all. But it's still kind of like it's not, I still think you've got to be you've really got to put yourself in that mindset of absolute 100 min max just because you can sort of thing to even justify using an augment rune in the first place on a dungeon. But just, you know, some people buy it because they'll feel that they need to. You're not sweaty. Never do my +5s without anybody not using runes. Well, I guess I wouldn't get invited to your group then. Yeah. I do think it's a touch expensive. But at the same time, let's not forget, for $20, for $20 out your back pocket, you can get 400,000 gold. So this permanent augment rune is like $5 real world value. So would somebody be willing to take $5 out of their back pocket for a permanent buff? Maybe. I think I remember somebody saying they were making 300k per week running dungeons and LFR on multiple toons. Yeah, the bags. The funny thing is the bag. You know, some people have seen this augment rune thing, and they've you know, there's a lot of extrapolation there though. Because people get blinded by, wow, you made 300k in a week. What did you do to make 300k in a week? Well, I played the game for 8 hours a day. It's the reality of it. You were running dungeons and LFR like for 8 hours a day to make 300k a week from the bags and from selling the augment runes. Now, if you were actively wanting to play 8 hours a day, if you were wanting to do that, the 300k you made at the same time is a nice byproduct. But for people who don't want to run dungeons or run LFR for 8 hours a day, the proposition doesn't look very good, you know. I'll buy it for the permanent use of it, ease of life. Isn't that what gold's for? Yeah, for me, the silly thing is they put this in at the end of the expansion. It's like, if you actually, like, why don't they put this at the beginning? I don't know. Put it at the beginning of the expansion. Because then people actually would see significant value in buying it. The thing is like, if you buy one of these in the last patch of the expansion, in 10 minutes time, you're done. And I'd also point out, this is not a toy. So this is character bound. So you'd need to spend 100,000 gold per character. So it's not like you could buy one of these and then go, you know, you'd buy one of these on your main. Well, your main doesn't really need it. It's just odd, right? If it was a toy, it would be better. It'd make more sense to be a toy that any character on your account could then use. That would see more value, I think. But, I mean, I don't know why I'm talking about this. I don't run Dungeons or Mythic Plus anyway, but it does just feel odd. It feels an odd way of doing things. But, you know, if people buy it, it takes 100k gold out of the game, I suppose. Interestingly, a lot of the mounts and stuff still, even once you have unlocked them, their currency is still Dragon Isle supplies. This is putting a steep demand on the amount of Dragon Isle supplies needed to cap everything. With gigantic dream seeds being eventually purchasable for 1,500 Dragon Isle supplies. So if you want to gamba your Dragon Isle supplies at the chance of getting mounts, which is in essence what these are, by the way. Your plump dream seeds give you the chance at pets. Gigantic dream seeds give you the chance at the mounts. Small dream seeds, I don't know why you'd really use these. Maybe they're just for, like, you know, just because. You use them if you've got nothing else to use them on. I ran out of Dragon Isle supplies on my main by buying all the WoW Thing stuff. Well, I've been amassing Dragon Isle supplies and being very diligent with where I spend them. One of the reasons why I did not particularly want to buy all of my barter boulders, because at the time you could cash in a vast quantity of Dragon Isle supplies for a whole bunch of barter boulders to get some recipes. And I contemplated doing that on a bunch of alts just to get those last recipes I needed. And then I was like, hang on, this is using monstrous amounts of Dragon Isle supplies. I am more inclined to spend those Dragon Isle supplies on other things coming in the future. So I didn't. And still semi-continue to go get my barter boulders each week on some of my alts. Just to slowly build up the numbers of them. Okay. Any change to the shipment business? Interestingly, they're not here.
I'm sorry. Did you need something? Never a dull moment with you.
Where have they gone? Do they move? Dream Seed Botanist. Plant a dream seed in the Emerald Dream. A harvested dream seed cache contains flight stones, bloom treasures, and Dragon Isle supplies. I should have picked that up earlier. Yeah, the shipments people are missing.
I am honored. Balloons light your path.
Herbalism trainer. General trade goods. Cliff of the Lunar Chameleon. Each time you shapeshift into Moonkin form, your shapeshifted form will be randomized. Okay. Requires Dragon Isle's inscription 1. Huh. Maybe maybe grab that day 1. For any scribes out there.
Farewell.
How may I help? Goddess watch over you. Farewell.
I'm intrigued where the shipments fellas have gone. Have they moved them somewhere? My problem is I can't remember what they were called. Innkeeper, stable master. Okay. I wonder if they're back in Valdrakken instead. The only thing that had any level of intrigue for me about the new patch is missing. Okay. Maybe they move. Where's the let's move over to, there's another little section. Hang on, who's the flight master here?
Go.
Why would they have removed the shipments? Because the shipments were one of the ways that you, one of the ways you'd get your dream seeds, if I remember correctly. That was the big reason why you might actually utilize them. Repairs, smithing supplies, item upgrades.
Welcome to the Dragon Isles.
Feel free to browse.
This is odd. This is odd. Maybe they're behind rep now. I mean, that could be it. That could be it. It could be that there's another Dream Seed botanist over here. Are you still responsible for, yeah, for all the cosmetic stuff?
Farewell. I am home.
She's also not showing the companions, not showing the mounts anymore. Maybe they've been moved somewhere else. See, this for me is why I've taken a slower approach to the PTRs. Deep early testing of the PTR seems almost pointless because everything is changed by the time it goes live. Fauna specialist
Greetings.
don't seem to have anything yet. Using the PTR to get a sense of what's occurring is probably worth, but like I said, that deep analysis and trying to figure shit out seems like you're fighting a losing battle when every week things have moved and changed and go different places. Is there anything that indicated shipment stuff? It wouldn't be this deep into it. Huh. So a second settlement with more NPCs. Yeah, that's kind of where I am now. There's this little area up here, the Eye of Ysera, where there's a few NPCs and bits and bobs going on. Metamorphic Ceravite deposits. Still the same nodes as we've seen previously. Well, that would be a twist. I mean, I'm sure there's a solution to this. I just, need to refine them again, but it seems odd that they were there and now they're not. Written by an unnamed dragon, contains speculation not to be shared with the keepers. Okay, that's a lot of reading. Check for the quest lines. Central encampment. I've only got one quest there right now. Emerald Dream. Worthy Allied Dream Wardens. Blooming Dream Seeds. Dream Seeds planted. Weekly quest. Aiding the Accord Super Bloom. Maybe there's I see. This is also one of the things with the PTR is that stuff gets real scuffed real fast with your characters. Realistically, every time there's a new build, you should probably transfer in a new character because stuff goes a bit funky dunky.
The Isles welcome you.
There's lots of bugs between characters if they've done stuff from past patches. There was some intro quests There was some intro quests back in the day for the shipment stuff. The last chapter, they've already said that they're not putting on the PTR, presumably because it has spoilerific stuff in it. We can use the thing to create set items day one. Yeah, the catalyst goes online day one, apparently, from what I've heard.
Flourishing life in the dream has made some small, odd dream fruit grow. Gather whatever powers these fruit bear, so our enemies may not. What you do with those powers is up to you.
Okay, how do we get back to the main bit? Can we go through here? Sneaky. The other solution here is that maybe I just need to chunk through these last remaining quests. But it's very odd to me that the two NPCs that are usually chilling here are not chilling here. It feels like a 0.5 patch to me. I don't know why. Probably because it's got the exact same formula as 10.1. And it's once you're aware of that, it's very hard to unsee it. Super difficult to unsee the fact that it's practically the exact same formula. I know it's probably not useful to you anymore, but do you see any catch up on profession points? No, that's actually a good point. There's nothing in that regard. Even back with the Niffen, what we got was some tomes for knowledge. There's absolutely nothing mentioned about professions anywhere in the Emerald Dream. Nothing whatsoever at all. No renown reference to it. Nothing from here, book-wise or something that you can purchase. Absolutely nothing at all. It's almost as if they've brushed the professions under the carpet to make them go away. It's really weird. And we are realistically... I mean, what's the date today? It's the 12th. We're realistically 4 to 5 weeks away from the launch of 10.2. So it's... You would suspect internally they've probably got it mostly done. They're wrapping up loose edges at this point. They're certainly not really, putting in new stuff at this point, you wouldn't think. Now, what we see on the PTR is probably a few weeks behind what they have done internally. But speculation is that, like, second week of November, just after BlizzCon, is when 10.2 will go live. So it's not that far away, or they just expect everybody to be done with knowledge points by now. I mean, I've been done with knowledge points feels like months ago at this point, but then I was also doing them pretty religiously week on week. Let's go back to Valdrakken then. Let's see if there's any indication that there's something else somewhere. Maybe they've moved the shipments or something like that. It just seems very strange that they've yoinked them. Let's go to the start. Maybe we don't need to go... The ancient... This bit is where you get into the Emerald Dream. Trade goods, repairs.
Rest until you awaken.
Very odd. Very odd. Well. Well. Presumably then. Presumably either the shipments have been stripped from the patch, or it requires some amount of renown to unlock them. But there's nothing indicated on the renown path that there's anything that unlocks them. It's a dreaming growth. Huh, Dream Search Coalescence, of course. Let's go back to Valdrak and poke around up there, see if there's any indication of something going on. I might copy a new copy of my character over, just in case there's some weird quest sync or progress issues. This is the Bane quest line, which I really should get around to doing. This is the weekly dude.
Guard against chaos.
Didn't they say they added a... I think there's a portal somewhere to... Where's the portal? To the Emerald Dream. I saw somewhere somebody said they put a portal to it. Out of curiosity though. Okay, yeah, it also doesn't even show me the books that this dude would usually sell. Because of course I've already got them.
Hey, how you doing? What's up? Be careful out there.
Trade of the Dream.
See anything that tickles your fancy or your nose? You got a nose for a good deal. Come back, okay? Come see what I've dug up today.
So we still got the Barter Boulder quests. None of these, you're considered a vendor. You always have been, but do you have anything new fancy on you? Oh, looks the same. Are you still selling the same stuff? You've not had any additions to you. Huh. I'm stumped then. If somebody's on the PTR and somebody finds where these... if somebody happens to stumble across where the shipment NPCs have gone, I'd be interested to find out. Because they seemingly have yoinked them. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if they just yoinked them out of the patch completely? I can't imagine that's the case, but... there's also a portal in Valdrakken somewhere to the Emerald Dream. I don't know where it is. Can't immediately see anything. Okay, This isn't very structured testing, is it? This is me just randomly filling time. Not that I care too much, it just seems wasteful not to use them. I'd hoped with all the seed stuff there'd be more soil patches in the zone. My herb miner that leveled had bags full of seeds, but I can't find fertile soil to plant them in. I hoped for a Broken Isle situation where you had an area where you could just unload them. They have some very specific spawn points, those dirt piles, and people just learn where the dirt piles spawned and would go back to those locations every once in a while. And a bit of realm hopping would often allow you to. They weren't completely random. Okay. Stumped me, that has. That's thrown me for 6. I was not expecting that. So at this point, it's still not much more. Dreaming essence, an amalgamation of the flowing energy of the dream. No matter how you manipulate it, always seems to return from its original form, rarely obtained from extremely powerful foes in Yggdrasil, can be bought and sold on the auction house. This is just the... Why is WoW not loading? Why will it not let me load World of Warcraft? Hang on. Okay, now it's let me in. So your Shadow Flame essence is being replaced. What was the tagline on this? A shard that excludes a menacing presence, rarely obtained from extremely powerful foes, can be bought and sold on the auction house. This is Shadow Flame essence has been replaced by a Dreaming essence. Assumption being is that you get it in the same fashion, drops from bosses in the raid. Dreaming Antler Fragment. Dreaming fragment of majestic antlers that thrum with the power of the dream, rarely found when skinning an elusive verdant glade warden, can be bought and sold on the auction house. This is going to be the same as your, what was it called, Obsidian Scale? Was it called Obsidian Scale? Obsidian Cobra Skin, sorry. So Skinners have got something new to go after, in the same fashion that they get their Obsidian Cobra Skin, or at least their chance for it per day. They're the only two sort of new reagents for crafting. New PvP set. JC has nothing. Jewel crafting has absolutely nothing. Not a bean. Not a single new recipe to obtain for jewel crafting. Well, that's fun. What was it called? Flipping antler things. Hang on. See if I can find them again here. I wonder if Shadowflame Essence is dropping from somewhere, since it's still used for the belt enhancement, or will we have to farm it for the old raid? It's also a good question. The Farak Assaults did also give you a chance at the Essence, I believe. Much less frequently than in the raid, but it was still possible. It'll maybe drop in the new raid. But that sort of gets a bit messy, right? Why would a Shadowflame Essence drop when there's a new Dreaming Essence as well? You know, it's a bit... It's just odd. Prices have gone bonkers in anticipation. Some of the leatherworking stuff has gone from 8 gold to 146 gold. I mean, people will always stock up, won't they? It's odd that the Flourishing Dream Helm is listed as using Obsidian Cobra skin and shadowed alloys, though. This is all still, you know, for me at least, an indication that there is still changes to be made. Because if blacksmiths are still required to make shadowed alloys as well, which takes Shadow Flame Essence also, it's like... It just seems so odd that if this ends up being the last patch, we're going to go into the new patch and like... You know, they made a shadowed alloy for blacksmiths to utilize the new Shadow Flame Essence, which then creates a material that goes into the new recipes. Yet we see here Flourishing Dream Helm using 10.1, both 10.1 materials still. So clearly this common sense alone tells you that these should change to the new ones. Even if you don't make a new alloy for blacksmiths, at least just make it use the new Dream Essence. It either is incredibly lazy or it is still to be changed. Hang on. If I'm going to make notes, I actually need to make proper notes and put the names of stuff down. Let me grab a drink quickly. Hang on. I'll tell you what, boys and girls, I need more coffee. I've got to make a coffee quickly. Okay, in about 3 minutes we'll have some nice coffee. In the meantime though, let's hydrate. Some of the new recipes already using the new skinning drop. That makes me think it's by design, but who knows? Yeah, I'm so underwhelmed with the amount of new stuff that they've thrown crafting wise. So leatherworking has one verdant conduit. Dreaming Essence, and there was also Dreaming... Verdant Conduit is the new embellishment. New embellishment. Spells and abilities sometimes provide secondary stats. Is it good? Is it bad? Who knows? Literally, who knows? Who knows? This might be the first patch that really gets me baffled on what's going on. It's just so it seems twofold to me. It seems like they want to do as little as absolute possible. Whilst, I mean, there's certain things, right? This obviously looks like a lot of new recipes to collect, but it's an exact copy-paste of every single patch. I don't consider the new set of PvP to be, like, new something. They fixed... The stupid thing for me is they fixed this exact problem previously. They'd already fixed this, and now they've gone back on it for some reason. They created the Crafter's Mark system so that you have a list of PvP helm, PvP braces, PvP something or other, right? You had a list of patterns, and then you go out and you get the new Crafter's Mark recipe to build something that is the upgrade token for that base. Yeah, they've done all of this. All of this was good. It all worked perfectly fine, and I was really hoping that Dragonflight would build upon that. They did for most of the equipment, but instead of, like, weirdly, instead of, like, making named pieces of gear that you upgrade each and every patch, they are still implementing new bits of... It's just odd. It seems so unorganized. It absolutely stinks of too many cooks spoiling the broth, and that's probably based upon the fact that the system back in Shadowlands was made by... You know, was thought up and developed by X amount of people, and now it's a completely different set of people. Like the staffing changes, development changes. There was that guy that was a new professions and reward developer that did a few blog posts and made himself known at the beginning of Dragonflight, but has now gone dark. He had a bit of a boo-boo on one of his posts, which caused a bit of uproar. But like the point still stands is that there was a developer that was seemingly focused on this at one point, and this is not the work of the same person. There's no shot. This is not the work of the same guy. Somebody has been told that you need to do something for the professions, and they've gone, oh, okay, we'll do what we always did previously that we've done for the last 10 years. I don't know. Very odd, very strange. Very strange, but underwhelming all the same. Blacksmithing. For embellishments, it doesn't matter what rank they are. The bonus is decided by the item level, and the rank only changes how much difficulty it adds when crafting it. Well, that's true, yeah. So blacksmithing, what do we got going on in here? We have, I'm only quoting new stuff here. Shadowed Belt Clasp is just something I hadn't picked up from the Zaralek Cavern yet. It's still on my to-do list, but Flourishing Dream Helm is the new. Okay. Not many who want something crafted know that, and they just buy the rank 3. Yeah, I noticed this a lot. That just because you could, there was never really much. There was never really much need to buy the rank 3s, but the rank, it's just, you know, it's force of habit more so than anything else. Blizzard trained people very quickly that rank 1 and 2 would guff and to ignore them and to buy the rank 3 stuff. And so when it came to embellishments, that people still, like if I go back and I look at my sales list of early Shadow, I can probably do that if I got this open. If we go back, we go revenue, Shadow Flame. Hello, game. Have I broke Shadow Flame? Let's just go all time. So let's go back to the beginning. So Shadow Flame, let's go Shadow Flame Wreath. In fact, no, because that's an enchant. That did actually make a difference. Shadow Flame Tempered Armor Patch. I was able to quite comfortably sell the rank 3s. Like, the quantity of rank 3s I would sell compared to the rank... This is a really nice addition from TSM, by the way. I don't give TSM anywhere near as much praise anymore as I feel it does actually deserve. The fact that they've added the quality into the ledger is remarkably helpful. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I was actually going out of my way to... I was spending more to guarantee the rank 3 crafting of this because it was so much easier to sell for a higher price. Yeah, anybody that knew what the hell they were doing and could find a leatherworker or a crafter to use this worth their salt could have done it with only the tier 2 and saved themselves stacks of cash. But it's a goblin, I don't care about that. I couldn't care less. I'll sell what people want. This is the point, right? Doesn't matter if it makes sense. Tell you what does make sense though. More coffee. More coffee is more good. Right, where do we get to with our notes? Blacksmithing, Flourishing Dream Helm. I sense readability needs a line break here. Enchanting. Dreaming devotion. New weapon enchant. Uses the dreaming essence, resonant crystals, vibrant shards, glowing orbs, awakened order. Not too much to scream about there. Do we need a source column? Is it worth putting a source column? No, it's probably not, is it? It's they're all going to be the same. They come from the raid. Literally just comes from the raid. Drops from a boss in the raid. And will in turn then be purchasable for most people on the auction house if you want it. Let's look just real quickly at what we've got here. So I have 397 skill. This is a 425 recipe. 425 difficulty recipe. It uses Awakened Earth and Awakening Order. Does that not mean I theoretically would be able to guarantee this at quality 5, at top quality? Wow, you're doing columns in a text file. You need a YouTube video to teach people that. I do that occasionally. That's what the tab button was designed for, right? Tab button 101, exactly, yeah. So if Dreaming Devotion is going to swap out from our... Where's our weapon? Enchants. So Shadowflame Wreath was 425. The inherent issue with this, though, was that it only used Awaken Fire. Oh, this is interesting. You're good. Okay. You're going to be able to guarantee quality 3s of these instantly. Because this uses Awaken Fire. And let's say, for example, you did... Where is it? Where's the Shatter? Shatter of Fire gives you the 10-minute buff to fire enchants, which would then put you at 407, meaning you still needed to use an insight, which I don't have any to hand right now. You still needed to use an insight to... Of course, I've got to be at the right place. Sure, of course I do. Since when was this a thing, actually, by the way, that you had to be here to make your insight? Yeah, if you were making 10-1 Shadowflame Wreaths, you could get to 407, but you would need, if you wanted to guarantee, you would still need to use your insight. Whereas, as it stands currently with the Dreaming Devotion, because it uses Awakened Earth and Awakening Order, you could shatter both of these for a stacking skill gain. Because I have 397 skill in making this by default. And if I was to shatter a... Ha!
Let's make sweet, sweet profit together.
There's the 10. Oh no, I haven't got any Awakened Order on this character. Okay. well, the point still stands, is that now you can see it's up to 422, which realistically is actually enough to 99% of the time give you a quality 3 anyway. It just ends up, if these end up being 30, 40, 50k a piece, which they definitely will, some people may not necessarily want to risk it for the cost of an Awakened Order. But the point still stands, is you'll be able to guarantee these at quality 5, quality 3, day 1. You'd actually be mad to not guarantee these at top quality. Pumper with the Prime. 10 months now. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. At the same time, my mates use Excel to take notes. And it attracts hate from the rest of the company. I've also done the same. Is there a TSM guide, first time settings, understanding for total noobs? I have some TSM guides on my YouTube channel. I have a little playlist of TSM stuff. It needs, whilst the information in there is still mostly correct, they were made during Shadowlands when times were different. So, but from a starting standpoint, it's probably good enough. Do I have a TSM command? I don't, and I should, shouldn't I? Select an item to enchant. Is that a new button? I don't know. Is it? Okay, let's just open more versions of WoW. More coffee. Coffee good. It's a new button. It was introduced in Dragonflight. Let's do a quick comparison with live. Got 3 versions of WoW open all of a sudden. I don't think this is a new button. I think this allows you to put your no, select an item to enchant. It's not new. People still buying leveling gear, or is it heirlooms to 70 now? I mean, heirlooms do go to 70 if you've got them. Okay. New weapon enchant. That needs a... new weapon enchant. Should be noted that it's possible to guarantee quality 3s on those. Illusionary Adornment Dreams. I mean, it's technically something new. I mean, it's technically a thing. Heirlooms used to be so good. Today I don't even bother creating them. Leveling's too fat. Like that small percentage increase was a benefit back in the day, but you can level up a character from 0 to 70 in an afternoon now anyway. The leveling's just so fast. The difference between using them and not using them is minute. Enchanted Aspect Dreaming Crest, Enchanted Aspect Worm Crest, Enchanted Whelpling Crest. Nascent Whelping Dreaming Crest, Dracothist, 2 Dracothist. Means you do 2 to 3 extra dungeons just because you don't spend a minute putting on the looms. I don't know why people are like this. I mean, the thing more so than anything is the off-putting of even purchasing the heirlooms, I reckon, nowadays. The value that they offer for the expense that they are to upgrade for a lot of people is just, well, I'll just do the extra couple of dungeons. You got to remember, 99% of people fall into the I farmed it so it's free category. This is really sad. This is my main profession. My #1 profession. So sad. So sad. So sad. Does anybody even buy the illusionary adornments? No, they're practically free on, like, they're just stupid. In fact, no, you don't even, you can't even sell them, can you? They're just trash. Right, okay. Next professions. Right, tailoring. What I've got to be careful here is that my tailor is, oh god, 20-second logouts. I've got to make sure I don't accidentally give tailoring too much credit, because there's shit I should have but I don't have from the cavern and stuff. Okay, this is new one, Verdant Tether. Once again, just a new embellishment, right? Healing abilities have the chance to tether you to a friendly ally, granting verse for both players based on distance. New embellishment. 3 dreaming essence. Sheesh. That could be expensive. that could easily be 150k. First week. That's gonna price that out for most people even considering to do that. I wonder if, okay. Okay. We have new cloth PvP set. Versus that for the tank? I would assume so, yeah. Tooltips are also pretty terrible nowadays. None of the tooltips really tell you what the thing does, which is also mightily annoying. It could very specifically be, yeah, it could very specifically end up being not just a healer thing, but a healer PvP thing. If that's even so much of a thing, you know, like arena comps sort of thing. I don't know. It depends what it does. I don't know. This is not my forte. Figuring out what shit does and why it could be important, that's for the simmers. That's if you're a sim Andy, you'll figure this shit out, right? Nothing else though. Nothing else there is new. Sad. Inscription. There's lots of stuff I don't have, so I equally got to be careful here. Let's new Vantus rune, I suppose. New Vantus rune. New PvP trinkets. At this point, this is a copy paste. That's one from the cavern. That's one from the cavern. Okay. Emerald Dream. Glyph of the Lunar Chameleon. How do you spell chameleon? Chameleon. There was a video on TikTok the other day, right, of like some English person saying that there's imagine if you say everything and pronounce every letter, and then there was a bunch of Finnish people like reacting to it, just like, what are you talking about? If you pronounce every letter in an English word, you start saying very, very silly things. Irish wristwatch. Say Irish wristwatch. I'm confused. I'm confused. Is it meant to be like a tongue twister? Irish wristwatch? I don't know. Maybe I've got an elastic jaw. People trouble having... Fucking hell. Then I can't read the very next simple English words you say. Yeah, okay. My poor brain. Regular words are more difficult for me. Give me some sort of tongue twist and I'm all Gucci, but... How much wood can a wood chop of a wood chop could chop wood? She sells seashells on the seashore. The shells that she sells are seashells, I'm sure. It's another one. Anyway, mad off topic there. Vendor. World Dream Seed Cash Drop. Alluric Fleece. What is an Alluric Fleece? A pelt worthy of Thorim himself. No, not fleas. Not fleas. Can we get some subtitles? Alluric Fleece goes on our notes. It's not Alluric, is it? It's Auric. Jesus, I can't type today. Oh, that Welsh tat. Yeah, I can't be saying that one. That's got too many consonants in it. Nope, not happening. Had the pleasure of meeting some colleagues from the Netherlands yesterday. It was fun talking to them. Always is. Always is. It's one thing I enjoy about streaming, you know. You get to see firsthand. I mean, it obviously it's slightly different sat this side of the camera as it is sat your side of the camera, but I get to talk to a vast array of different people from all over the globe, which is something you often don't get to do ever through any other way, really. I mean, unless you work for like a truly global company. But, you know, we had a conversation with Team Australia earlier. Good chance that they're probably in bed now. You know, we often get the opinion of Team NA. And obviously, Europe, generally speaking, is quite a diverse range of, you know, languages, cultures, sort of all sorts of stuff. There's not many things you can do out there that will expose you to just so much different sort of cultures, I guess is the right word, right? Recipe learn. Dream seed cash drop. Okay. Okay. Presumably Inscription gets a new contract as well. Oh, that's an interesting one. The contract is a World Super Bloom drop this time, not a rep grind. Well, I mean, I guess that's the way to circumvent people fudging the rep grind, isn't it? Just make it completely random. Fucking hell. Okay. Here was this deterministic thing that people figured out via clever use of game mechanics how to access sooner than we expected them to be able to get it. So instead, let's just make it completely RNG. 100% RNG. Off you go, see you later, GG. Also using glow spores, yeah. You know, it's Is it late? Is it going to change? What do we think? Looking at these recipes, I do not think they're finished crafting. Well, I went and had very much the same opinions. But you know, that was 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago when we first got the PTR. However long ago that was, probably 5 weeks ago. Nothing's changed yet, and we are remarkably close to getting release dates and the likes. Potter's off to the inscription table to make 1 million burnished inks, which should have been done. Should be done by 2028. Yeah, burnished inks go burr. That's Cobalt Assembly. That's just me being lazy. Hairy Chin is a drop from the Emerald Dream. So this is a new one. Handful of dragon riding appearances. Dog, are you good? Papa? Papa? Are you good? Coughing your guts out back there. You got a fur ball? Fur balls? Fur balls? Yeah, fur balls. She's fine. You'll see them dancing around from time to time, but I have 2 dogs, black one and brown one. Yesterday I found brown one fast asleep in the bed in a very, very interesting pose. A very interesting pose. Hang on, can I... Fast asleep. Fast asleep, upside down in the bed. Completely flopped. Dogs do this when they're puppies, right? They tend to do the sleeping upside down when they're puppies, but it's something they tend to grow out of. She never did. She's so happy being just upside down. Such a goof, absolutely. Okay. Drop in the Emerald Dream is about as much information as we have on some of these new ones. All exactly the same materials, nothing changing. Okay. I wrote a very angry yell yesterday, found a crafting order with no resources and a 20 gold commission. It triggered me. Yeah. I don't know. There's one thing, you know, there's something that tends to... I think people should do more of, and it's, you know, it's in the let's say, for example, in the gaming, considering this is where we kind of live, right? In the gaming sphere, it is often suggested that people, they vote with their pockets, right? So if a developer releases a shit game, you just don't buy said shit game. And that will, you know, if enough people do that, it sort of gets the impression across that you made a shit game, don't do it. My approach to that when it comes to crafting orders is I just don't do any. I already know that I'm one of a niche few people who actually enjoys the crafting side of things. But it's quite simple. If people are going to put 0 resource, 20 gold tips, I'm just not going to do them. The system as a whole, I just don't pay any attention to it. It's not fun to engage with. It's not interesting. Standing around in Valdrakken spamming trade trap to try and drum up some business is not fun. So I don't do it. And, you know, if enough people don't do something, you would also then hope that the takeaway from that is that, well, you made a shit system, Blizzard. Try harder next time. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see. The foundation's there. Oh my God, you got me on a, one comment got me on a flipping crafting order rant. I have a, you know, depending on when you catch me, I have a very different opinion on crafting orders. I understand from a fundamental perspective, the foundation is there for them to be really good. But with their current implementation, based upon how they integrate with the rest of the game, they're dog shit. They go from has potential to I do not feel any of them ever. Like, it swung completely from one direction to another just based upon how it was implemented. And here's to hoping in whatever the new expansion is, if they are planning on bringing it forward, that they take that into consideration. Yep, Ranthius turned up out of nowhere. Of course he did. Of course he did. Was not planned. Never is. Right, let's see what we get new with alchemy then. Stinky Bright Potion is not one. Draconic Vial Cauldron is not new. Cauldron of Extracted Putrescence is also not new. Cauldron of Ultimate Power is also not new. Dreamwalk Healing Potion, this is new. I do get from 10 to 50k per week from crafting orders. Yeah, I would rather not have the 50k per week is the honest answer. I'd quite rather not have the 50k per week to not have to do it. That's the way I look at it. It's a hurdle that the carrot on the end of the stick's not good enough for me. Buyers dictate the price. What did you expect? Well, I'm also quite happy that I've had the exact same, or I've had nearly the exact same opinion on this system since before Dragonflight even launched. My approach hasn't really changed to crafting orders. I didn't like it in its first implementation. My advice was to make it better or get rid of it, which caused a lot of arguments in the YouTube comments. I was not a fan of it from the word go. I understood what it was there to do, but I didn't think they implemented it in a way that achieved that. So I was like, well, if you can't achieve what you set out to do and only provide a half-assed system, is it worth putting the system out in the first place? It's like if you went to rent a car and they gave you a scooter. You'd be like, this will still get me from A to B, but I'm not going to enjoy it, and you're not getting a tip. You know? It's kind of like, expectations weren't really met. And I guess I'm slightly more passionate about it than others, because this is the main avenue of gameplay for me, and it's one that I've thoroughly enjoyed for years. And it's just slightly more painful to see it being so poorly handled. Dreamwalker Healing Potion. 5 Dreamwalker Healing Potions come from 5 Refreshing Healing Potions and 5 Potions of Frozen Focus. But obviously, multi-craft inspiration will do its thing. Resourcefulness will do its thing. Guaranteeable at top quality from day one, without any difficulties. So, Awakened Frost go burr. Is that what we're saying on this one? Likely to be the case, since every single press of this button, I suppose each potion is in theory only going to consume a tiny amount of frost. They all have frost in them. It's going to suck up a lot of the frost. Multi-layered frost. The regular healing potion. So your refreshing healing potion takes frost. You've also got the potion of frozen focus. Why does it not? Oh, maybe that doesn't take frost. Where's the potion of frozen focus? Oh, that uses awaken frost. Okay. Woof! Yeah, spicy. Okay, yeah, that's going to hoover up. That's going to hoover up a lot of frost. It's probably worth putting in the notes. Super frost heavy. $95 gold each already on the auction house. Yeah, I'd expect that to rise quite substantially then. This is not sound financial advice, just, you know, before people jump at me. I'm only reporting on what I see, based upon my own opinions. What's this one? Potion of Withering Dreams. Oh my god, there's something that I can actually still learn from pressing the button. Wow! Is that... okay. Is that new? Potion of Withering Dreams? Is that new? That's not new, is it? Shows how much attention I paid to my alchemist. I'm on the wrong flipping character again now. Oh god, it's an altar jobby. It's just the fact it's got dreams in it, and I don't recognise the name. It might not be new. Oh, it is new. It is new. Potion of Withering Dreams. Putrid recipe requires an altar infused with powerful and decay magic rumoured to be deep in Brackenide Hollow. Yeah. Consume this vile concoction to instantly heal you for 621,000 health, but suffer 465,000 plague damage over 30 seconds. Kiss Curse Toxic Potion. So okay. Yeah, it's an upgrade to your Potion of Withering Vitality. So yeah, it's an upgraded version of this. What I don't know is how much this is. Okay, this doesn't particularly seem like a potion that many people bothered with anyway. 800 sold a day doesn't seem like a lot. Or is it? Oh, maybe nowadays that is a lot. Oh. Compared to your regular healing potion that sells 10,000 a day. Yeah, so about that. I mean, it's new. I guess people understand the toxic pots, that they have a kiss curse on them. Elemental Potion of Ultimate Power, that's not new. Transmute Awakening Frost is still not new. Potion Absorption Inhibitor is not new. Some random ass incense that I should just go buy. Centaurs 22, I should just go get that. Okay, so that's it for alchemy then. So alchemy is 2 new variations of a healing potion. Get excited, boys and girls. Let's take a look at engineering. Now this is where there is a lot I don't own, and I will have to pay close attention to what is what. Let's do a little comparison here. Calibrated safety switch, crit failure, prevention unit, spring-loaded capacitor thingy. Okay, they're not new. Shadow flame rockets, breath of Neltharion, trinkets, they're not new. Obsidian combatant goggles I am missing on live. So, a new set of PvP goggles. Difficult wrist protectors, needlessly complex wrist guards, over-engineered sleeve extenders. So nothing new there. Propulsion protect, no. Easy throw stuff, mallard mortar. There's a portable party, hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Portable party platter, this is new. Discovered from witnessing a display of confectionery conjuration. What the fucking hell does that mean? It's a toy. Place a portable party platter perfect for propagating pastries at picnics. I like that. Should we say that again? Place a portable party platter perfect for propagating pastries at picnics. There we go. There's your tongue twister toy. Potions look any good? The healing one will do well. The toxic version, not so much. Does not matter. There's Frosty Soul in it, so it's a 20k toy instantly. There's 5 Frosty Souls in it. 5 Frosty Souls. Celebratory cake. Portable party platter. New toy. Looking forward to see the translators deal with that one. Yeah, the problem is if you translate that, it's unlikely to stay a tongue twister, is it? Why would the toxic one even be there? If we look at the difference between the two, the new toxic one, what did we say? The new toxic one, heal yourself for 621k, whilst the potion heals you for 155, and then another 155 over 6 seconds, so it's like 300k. The Kiss Curse is that this heals you for substantially more up front. But obviously then, if you don't get a dot on you, you're going to lose most of it. You know, a hot on you even. It could get you out of a sticky situation to give your healer some time to, you know, put a heal over time on you. But the reality is people just, you know, I mean, it's already a healer problem to begin with most of the time, right? Okay. Anyway, though. Anyway, moving swiftly on. That is... That is new profession stuff. Somebody said jewel crafting did have some. Did I just balls something up? Did I make a boo-boo here somewhere? Because somebody did say there was some jewel crafting stuff. Ring neck PvP is always... Oh, I wonder, actually. I wonder if it's because I've used the... yeah, it could be because I used that book that teaches me everything that's new. Okay. New PvP ring and neck. I'll spot anything that's new because junk crafting is my main profession. Dream Tender's Charm. There we go. What the hell is this? Stacking critical strike while above 70. Gain stacking crit strike while above 70% health. Also adds unique equip. Okay. Dream Tender's Charm. New embellishment. Gain stacking crit whilst above 70% health. That realistically for most people should be everybody all the time. Is that going to make that... Obviously it depends how important critical strike is for you. But it seems worth all the same. Let's do a comparison on this to like the... Where's it gone? What am I looking for here? I've genuinely forgot what I'm looking for here. In fact, I'm not looking for anything, am I? No, I'm not. Yeah, that's just new. 340 recipe difficulty. These are not going to have quality attached to them. So you are going to be guaranteed Q3 with the use of an insight. The charm recipe drops in the raid from the Tainted Lasher boss. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 bosses. Drops off Gnarl Root, which is the first boss. So this will be available very quickly. Because even LFR Andes will be able to get their hands on this one. Cheap to make? Well, Dreaming Essence and Dreaming Antler, these are not cheap to make. The other components, yeah, sure. But Dreaming Antler Fragments and Dreaming Essence, let's not forget just how much they went for at the beginning of 10.1. Your Shadow Flame Essence was 50k a piece, dropping to 25k a piece the week after. Your Obsidian Cobra Skin business was like 150k down to like 80k. These are not going to be cheap. These are not going to be cheap materials to get your hands on the first week or so, which in turn would, you know, mean that the Dream Tender's charm is not exactly cheap either. Which would mean for the value of a lesser illustrious insight to guarantee it, you would want to do that, because the chances are that people are dumb and will choose not to buy Q2 over Q3, even though it doesn't make a difference. Oh no, hang on, wrong account. Which leads me to question, how much metal do I have? And would I want to use it all, guaranteeing quality 3s of those if it ends up being Abyss embellishment, which I sense it might. Your stacking crit bonus feels very strong to me. Crit tends to be one of those this is very broad before people say, well, my class doesn't do that. This is a very broad approach, but at the start of an expansion, haste tends to be preferred because you've got brand new gear and you haven't got many stats, and so you don't attack very fast. And so haste tends to be the preferred stat at the beginning of the expansion. But by the time you've had an entire expansion's worth of gear and stats and like excessive, you know, power gain, you tend to end the expansion favoring crit pretty aggressively. Broad generalization across the 30 plus classes there are. Don't shoot me. But what that leads me to sort of surmise is that a stacking crit buff as an embellishment will be big business. Real big business. I have a casual 4,000 Artisan's Metal on my main character as it stands already, with easy access to way more of it if I want. So 4,000, divide 4,000 by 5. Is it 4,000? Hang on, move over here, calculator. 4,181. Divide that by 5. 836. Where was it? Here. Yeah, it is a lesser. Yeah. Hang on. It's not by 5, is it? It's by 10. Hang on. Shit, my brain has stopped. Break into 5 lesser ones, it takes 50, so they're actually 10. Okay. So I've got Artisan's Metal for 400 plus of those things. Out of curiosity, let's look at revenue, Shadow Flame. I'll explain what I'm doing in a minute. I just got to get the maths done before my brain forgets things. Shadow Flame, something or others. Shadow Flame, tempered armor patches. As far as TSM is concerned, I sold 190 of these things. I'm not entirely sure how accurate that is. But if I look at expenses for Shadow Flame Essence, it claims I bought 800 of these. Wow! I mean, I don't think this is completely balling out numbers, but I did spend nearly 24 million gold on Shadow Flame Essence this patch. And for reference, I haven't bought a single one for 133 days. that was 24 million gold spent on Shadow Flame Essence in 2 weeks. Shit the bed. Woo, spicy meatball. 10 million gold. Let's just call that 10 million gold a week I was spending on Shadow Flame Essence. Damn. Okay. Well, that I'm going to want to get my hands on day one then. I'm going to want that as soon as it's physically available. And I already have enough stuff, should I say, to bang them out. No bother. What I should probably also do is go into the patch having... Where's it gone? I should go into the patch having my Shimmering Clasps, my Emeralds, and my Elemental Harmonies pre-crafted, pre-ready to go. So I don't have to... So I don't get bent over by any shenanigans on those. Do you need max rank though? No, you don't. Depending on how competent your crafter is. But logic doesn't always prevail. You will have substantially easier time selling top quality ones. You will also probably find that there'll be more profit to be had in the top quality ones as well. I know this from experience, that just because you don't technically need to buy a quality 3, the majority of your sales will still be quality 3s, because people have been molded to believe that quality 3 is always better. And most people will just buy quality 3 by default, even if quality 2 is a fraction of the price. If you think how stupid the average person is, remember that half the globe is more stupid than that. So logic doesn't always win. Dream Tender's Charm. My Dawn Crafter is going to be good week 1 then, with that one. The Verdant Conduit, which was the tailoring one. The tailoring one comes from Council of Dreams, which is the 4th boss, which is going to mean that it is not LFRable. So the only LFRable one the first week is going to be the Dream Tender's Charm, assuming they do the same sort of thing as they did last time with the release cadence. So that's going to be quite tough to get. The question is how important do I think this one's going to be for me? Dreaming Essence, Dreaming Antler Fragment, Mire Slush Hide, Ruined Wraith Bark to craft that thing. So that's going to be another sink for me on Dreaming Essence and Dreaming Antler Fragments. The new weapon enchant comes from Larodar. What was the mats needed on that one? Well, that's clearly going to use the same again, isn't it? What I'm trying to do here is I'm just trying to work out what recipes I'm going to want and how much I'm willing to pay for them. Flourishing Dream Helm is a very rare drop off the second to last boss. Is it any good? Are plate wearers going to want it? Taking damage has a chance to cause a slumbering dream to flourish, shielding you for 33k over 15 seconds and causing a flourishing dream to mark a friendly ally. Moving within 5 yards of an ally marked with a flourishing dream causes it to awaken, shielding you and your ally for 22,000 over 15 seconds. I mean, it's interesting. Is it interesting enough for people to care about? The reality is I'm not going to craft this for people, but my question is should I be buying the recipes to flip them? That's my question. If I can snag one of these for a couple of 100k in the first few days, I'll flip it for 1 million and then just, ignore it. Okay. So, well, that's kind of good news for me. It's kind of good news for me that the first thing I'm going to care about is the Dream Tender's Charm. Because I think that's going to be big business. Just because of how many classes will see benefit in stacking crit. And if it stacks a lot of crit, it could be quite cool. But Dreaming Antler Fragments and Dreaming Essence. We should probably work out how we get these Dreaming Antler Fragments, shouldn't we? That should be on our list of to-dos. Since the Obsidian Cobra Scale thing was a bit of a mystery for the first couple of days, which is hence why it was ludicrously expensive. Because there was a time on the EU where there was like less than 10 of them available. Now, people will be smarter this time round because they'll be going into it expecting something like this. People weren't expecting one rare mob that you had to specifically spawn to give you one chance a day at Skin. Skinners weren't ready for it last time. They'll be more ready for it this time round, but it would be still worthwhile figuring out how this shit works. Dreaming Antler Fragment. Has anybody done any Wowhead digging yet? Or has anybody actually tested it? We don't need to test shit twice if somebody's already done it. What was it called? Dreaming Antler Fragment. No comments. Not a single comment so far. There is, though, a video. The fuck is this? What? Is this some... What the actual fuck is this? What the fuck is this?
Bueno, gente, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo están?
Wow, that's the most outrageous intro to a video I think I've ever seen. 15 seconds of random ass anime. Okay.
Estamos testeando acá en el PTR.
Some fucking weeb
Le
shit
vamos a
right
dar el
there.
agradecimiento a Hunter, que nos tiró una data importante. Vamos a matar este rare, el guardián.
No, don't put me... Where's the auto-translate? Give me auto-translate, YouTube. Click for settings. Subtitles, Spanish, auto-translate, English. Blizz. Right, back. Back.
Bueno, gente, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo están? Estamos testeando acá en el...
We are testing here in the
Le vamos a dar el
PTR.
agradecimiento a Hunter, que nos tiró una data importante.
We're going to have to thank a hunter that gave us the important data. We're going to kill this rare, the Guardian. Then we're going to put his name in Latin, Spanish, Spain, in English, because many people are going to get confused. Yes, me included. Luckily,
Y vamos a ver si tenemos suerte. Lo voy a desollar.
kill him. Let's
Voy a
see
ver
if we're
si
lucky.
me va a dar el cuerno o no. Y después vamos a ver si mi compañero lo puede
Going to see if he's going to
desollar.
give me the horn.
Y si se gana también.
That means something different in English. Skin him and get the horn too. Okay, some Guardian fella. Now, if the Dreaming Antler thing is on his drop loot table, that means everybody has a shot at it.
Vamos a ver. Lo loteamos para después desollar. Loteamos.
Negative.
Vamos a ver si lo podemos desollar.
Skin.
Y nos dio. Miren,
Yes, he
a
got
mí me
one.
dio
He
un
got one.
fragmento de asta. A mi compañero lamentablemente no le dio. ¿Qué hacemos con este fragmento de asta onírica, no? Bien. No sé si va a valer $500,000 de oro o $1,000,000 de oro, como le ha pasado.
Okay, now look at the translations for Spanish. Sheesh. Shut up, let me listen to the Spanish. The translations are outrageous. You need columns like a mile wide. Sorry, I'll let you listen.
Porque ahora todos saben que pueden sacar oro con esto. Así que muchas personas van a tener 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 50 90 personajes para desollar esto. De algo que estoy seguro es que esto va a valer entre 100 y 200k más todavía en los primeros días, por la carrera de Rey Mítico. Así que nada, muchachos, si necesitan más información, entren al Discord, a la comunidad y estén atentos. Suerte.
Okay. Let's... oh, God, my suggested videos are funny. Lots of Factorio. Dog puppies, because of course dog puppies is a thing. Linus Tech Tips, and a bit of Sidemen here and there. Now it's going to request random ass weeb shit to me, but appreciate the video all the same. Hang on, let's go to YouTube. I don't agree with the intro on this, but let's give it a thumbs up at the very least. Appreciate the efforts there. This guy's understanding of price is almost on par with Matthew's. Well, that's just a very historical data perspective, right? The Obsidian Cobra skins were like 150k a piece the first couple of days, but this is predominantly because nobody knew how to get them. This is one of those that if I actually put a video out about how to go and get them, it nukes the price for everybody because everybody goes and does it. But I probably will do either way. Got to find the stag, figure out what he's called in English. We can figure that out. We can figure that out. It's fine. Let's close you down. Reagent 4, only 2 things so far. My suspicion will be that it could be more. You've got 1 month to level 50 skinners. Good luck. I mean, could be. I don't possess even 1 skinner right now, never mind 50. But I'm sure there's people out there that have the ability to do so, given enough time and effort ahead of time. I mean, if you can bang them out for 100k the first few days, you know, it's worthwhile leveling up 10 skinners to get 1 million gold in a day, right? I would guess. Let me just ever so quickly watch the start of this again. No. We don't need this weeb shit at the beginning. What was the name of the dude?
En el PTR. Le vamos a dar el agradecimiento a Hunter, que nos tiró una data importante.
Okay, well I don't know what the name of the fella is, but we can work out where he is. Let's go and have a look. Let's go and have a looky. Right, let's get myself... Am I on the right character here? Yeah, let's get back over to the Emerald Dream. There's a portal to the Emerald Dream somewhere in Valdrakken, and I don't know where the flipping hell it is. Should we just go there the oldie schooly method? He wasn't full skinner because he got 1-star skin. I don't have skinning on any of my characters, so I don't know.
We protect the Isles.
I can't. Okay, apparently I'm not allowed to click on that either. Let's just haul ass there instead, it's fine. Portals next to the shipping crates, dude. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks.
Mighty here. Plant our banners to mark what the Dragon Scale expedition has discovered.
So, if we go over to the Emerald Dream, it looked like it was around here somewhere. A little wiggly thing. Yeah, it's down here. Shoreline routes, down here. It's either down here, or which way is the wiggly thing? Is it in the Lush Stream Crags? It's a anti-clockwise wiggly thing. It's the shoreline route. It's right down here. Okay, this is right by where you come in. Where the flipping hell's the portal? Is it in the blob? Is it in the blob? Yes, it is. Is it him? Crabtankerous? No. Crabtankerous is not the right one. They were fighting him about here. In 240p, mind, but they were fighting him around here. So there's probably a rare that spawns somewhere around here that is the dude. Although, actually, doesn't it say it's, brain think, what's the word? It's an elusive skinning bait thing. So maybe this is where you need to do your elusive skinning. Why is my game so busted? Lag spikes like nobody's business. Dead? Are we dead? Are we effed? No, we're saved. Maybe it's the fact my computer doesn't particularly like that I've got 12 instances of WoW open and streaming and everything. Let's take some of these backwards. Okay.
Vamos a matar a este rare, el guardián. Después vamos... Gente, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo están? Bueno, gente, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo están? Estamos testeando acá en el PTR. Le vamos a dar el
Testing the
agradecimiento a
PTR.
Thunder, que nos tiró una data importante. Vamos a matar a este rare, el guardián. Después vamos a poner su nombre.
He's just called it the Guardian. Guardian of the Clearing? Elusive Verdant Glade Warden. What did we say? Elusive Verdant something or other. This fella. Here he is. Here he is. Rare can only be summoned on this zone. Meandering root lands. Oh, that's further up than...
Bien, vamos a empezar a summonear el rare.
Oh, haha, this is the same dude. Shush you.
Recuerden que es en esta zona. Todo en esta zona. No es en un solo lugar.
So you got to use your elusive creature bait.
Ahí está.
Aclaro, en la versión español
Elusive
latino,
Verdant
este bicho
Glade
se llama
Warden.
Guardian. Pero ahora está en su versión en inglés. Lo
Oh, he's put his
matamos.
PTR in English. That's... There we go. So, elusive bait, nuke it down.
Un consejo, Boogie, no lo desolles ahora.
Ok.
Porque si no, no lo vas a poder summonear después.
Nuke, nuke, nuke. Do more nukeage.
Recuerden, puede ser summoneado en toda esta zona. ¿Vos lo tenés en español, Carlos?
Sí.
¿Cómo se llama esta zona?
Eh,
No lo desoyes.
No, no, no. Tierras serpenteantes.
serpenteantes, ajá.
Bien, vení, Carlos.
Can you find multiple of them then?
Vamos a summonearlos como por acá.
Carlos, vete para allá.
Vení,
Using
Carlos.
another elusive
No, lo
creature
estaba
bait.
pasando al señor Bullying.
Fíjense que estoy
Oh, he
summoneando
turns
el
up
mismo
again.
rare. Este rare lo vamos a
Okay,
matar
so
ahora
it's not...
y lo voy a desollar.
So it doesn't appear as if it's just one spot, but anywhere on the sort of... anywhere along this sort of area, you can use your elusive bait to spawn him. The question will be is how frequently can you do it, right? If it's once per day, yeah, like Tammy said, if it's once per day, it's going to be expensive. If it's something you can kill repeatedly, then expect people to, you know, put groups together, farm it, whatever. I got my ass whooped in greens by the cobra in the caverns. Might have to get my gear my skin up a little bit. Well, yeah, 420-ish gear is what's needed for the for this zone. But the intro quests give you like 415 gear, so you'll be well on your way. Is the cobra skin once per day? It was, yeah. But okay, that's handy to know closer to the time. I don't actually, like I said, unfortunately, I don't even have a skinner to test this properly, but I'm sure it's I can pass on the knowledge either way. But so that sort of fixes one of the questions. And I suspect, much like the Dreaming Essence, these Dreaming Antler fragments will end up being quite expensive the first couple of days. Even if many people figure it out, the fact that Dream Tender's charm will be accessible the second the raid goes live. There'll be people that will get the recipe and be wanting these remarkably quickly. You can boost a Skinner in 10 seconds if you want. Yeah, but I don't want. But I don't want. Nope. I do need to finish leveling my Skinner, though, to be fair. It's on my to-do list. It's just not very high on my to-do list. But yeah. Let's, okay, now I've figured out what we've got coming. The list of stuff coming is, you know, realistically, my overall thoughts is that with limited new mats, limited new crafts, limited new mats and limited new crafts, Dracothists slash glow spores looking to stay. They more and more appear as if they're going to stick around. More and more. It seems odd that Dracothists and glow spores will be sticking around, but I guess... I mean, it's still technically this expansion, right? It's the Zaralek Cavern, as much as people may not necessarily like it, it's still a zone from this expansion. There's no reason, theoretically, for them to nuke those materials. It just feels a bit odd that we're going to be moving into the Emerald Dream predominantly, and everything that we've ever seen from Blizzard previously is that, you know, they'll... I mean, the core materials still come from the main zones, and we've moved on from those, so I guess it's not an outrageous thing, but... are there any new ores, though, through mining, jewel crafting, prospecting-wise? Nope. No. All the same sort of stuff. So, yeah, the only real new materials is this Dreaming Essence and the Dreaming Antler Fragments. There's this Auric Fleece thing, which I don't really... can we wowhead that? Auric Fleece... sell price 50 gold. Elusive. Oh, well, fucking hell, Skinners. Another elusive rare beast. Skin this from an elusive mob summoned using a creature bait on the Forbidden Reach at the same... Oh, on the Forbidden Reach? At the same location that you summon the skinning rare Fornos. The mob was also described as Auric. So this is likely a way to get a yellow / golden pet for hunters. Oh, this isn't even new. These exist already. Oh, well, ignore that then. Auric Fleece. I'd literally never heard of that material before. Probably because it had not been used in the profession. They do exist and somebody's already done a number on them. Clever. Clever. Very clever, that. Very clever, whoever did that. Very clever, whoever did that. I know it's one of you. It was definitely one of you, but very clever whoever did that. I guess we will figure out how we get more of those. Because there's only 10 across the whole EU right now. Only 300k to control the market. Go, go, go. I mean, somebody already has, right? They were 8k. They were 8k and now all of a sudden they're 30k. But even back, you know, it's not been used in anything so far, but Skinners do skinning thing. Dare I say it, the early days of the patch is going to be Skinner's heaven. Skinners, get on it. Jesus, maybe this is Blizzard's way to give skinning some love, considering it has been an absolute flop for the most of Dragonflight. So you know all of those alchemists that you've got set up on your alts, maybe also give them all your Dracothist alts. Your Dracothist alts, maybe you should give them skinning as well. Get double use out of those alts. Skinning could run the show first few days and weeks. I guess it's kind of nice for Skinners to have something to do. I mean, I would point out is that this thing is like super niche, right? This is going to be used in one druid appearance. What was the druid appearance that it's used in? Mark of the Auric Dream Stag. I should also point out that the recipe for this is a World Dream Seed cash drop. So your scribe is likely to only get one go at this per week. So there's an awful lot of RNG in even getting the recipe. But glyph. Oh, are glyphs? Oh, glyphs are considered commodities, aren't they? Does that mean anybody who gets... Oh, okay, yeah. If you're selling them region-wide. Yeah, skinners are going to have fun. Skinners are going to have fun. Whoever gets that recipe first could be absolutely laughing all the way to the bank. So, if I was to give people a heads up for what might be worthwhile paying attention to, skinners are going to have some fun the first few days and weeks, because skinners are going to be required to get the Auric Fleece and the Dreaming Antler fragments. If you happen to be a scribe that also gets super duper mega lucky and gets the Mark for the Auric Dream Stag recipe from the World Dream Seed cash drop, which is a weekly thing to my understanding, you will then need some of these, but then you can make the new Druid Glyph, which you should see some good fun with. Leatherworkers making a new embellishment, and enchants making the new weapon enchant. Yeah, enchanters also making the crests once again, so enchanting is quite high up there in terms of professions. It's not really my place to quote on which of these new embellishments is going to be the one that everybody wants, but the fact that they've nerfed the old ones pretty heavily might mean that there's a lot of people out there that are willing to switch them. Does the. This only uses one Dreaming Essence. What about the other one? The Leatherworking one. The Leatherworking one, how many essences does this use? This only uses one. The Tailoring one using 3 Dream Essences is going to price it out of the market for most people. If this Verdant Tether thing uses 3 Dream Essences, this thing is going to be mental expensive. Or, well, quite literally 3 times the cost. Maybe it's to counteract the fact that it doesn't use a Dreaming Antler fragment, I don't know. But either way, this one could price itself out of the market by just being too goddamn expensive for anybody to bother with. But then again, price is not necessarily always a concern for people who want the best. If people who want the best, then, well, this is the best, they must have the best. Need to make a YouTube tier list. People love them tier lists. You're not wrong, actually. We could easily convert this into a tier list for the YouTubes. People do love a good tier list. Change it next week and just make a new one. Yeah, exactly. If just flip-flop, change my opinion like I change my underwear, which is twice a month. You get a good 4 days out of a single pair of underwear, don't you? Inside, outside, front side, back side. That's how it works, right? That's the rule. Okay. Pretty sure the weapon enchant and the tailoring embellishment won't be BIS because they're healing spec'd. Could be true. Well, the weapon enchant's a weapon enchant, you know. You can have that regardless. But yeah. Okay. We're starting to kind of get to grips with what's going on now. Starting to get to grips. Things are starting to shape up. We're starting to get a bit more of an understanding. And I don't feel too put out by, you know, figuring this out now, as I don't think there's too much time for too much to change. The interesting thing for me is that it's consistently looking like Dracothis and Glow Spores might be here to stay. But the only thing that's still at the back of my mind telling me that they might be introducing something new in this regard is the fact that we had the Cobra skin and they've given us a new version of the Cobra skin. We had Shadow Flame Essence, or whatever the flippin' hell it's called, and they've given us Dreaming Essence. So they've updated some of the materials. Some of the key crafting materials, so why wouldn't they give us a new version of a Dracothis and a new version of a Glowspore, considering alchemy, generally speaking, is looking very light. 2 new healing potions. You know, no new, you know, that just... one of them that people aren't going to use because it's a toxic one, it's Kiss Curse. It's realistically, all alchemists have is a new healing potion. Which, if that's all they give alchemists, that's a sad state of affairs. Herbalism and mining obviously don't seem to be getting any love at all because there's nothing new for them to go out and farm. Skinners are getting, which also makes it feel odd, right? You expect there to be something new. I don't know. I guess we'll see. There's only a few weeks to go, clearly, because anybody with an educated guess is saying that the second week of November is when 10.2 will launch. We might find out quite soon, actually, considering we'll know the launch date before BlizzCon, and quite before BlizzCon, I would suspect. Leads me to believe that we should get a patch launch date quite soon. I'm somewhat surprised they've neglected the crafting skill trees entirely since the launch of Dragonflight. Well, the profession trees, the reason I think they haven't touched these in any way, shape or form, and to give you my opinion on this, is that these were quite carefully calculated. They were very carefully calculated to allow you to achieve certain thresholds when it comes to crafting. What I am surprised is that we have not seen an upgraded level of profession gear. I have been semi-convinced that we would get epic versions of crafted gear by the end of the expansion. Now that could still be a 10.2.5, a 10.2.7 thing, maybe. But it's the reason I suspect we should be getting another set of these is because it kind of works in synergy with the spec trees. Your spec trees, you can fill these out and it can get you very close to maxing things, but not quite there. You still have to use either inspiration or you still have to use insight to guarantee top quality stuff most of the time. A new epic set of tools with a little bit extra bonus skill would mean that you could start guaranteeing stuff before we leave Dragonflight and go do something new. That's the path I expected them to take with crafting professions, and it's why I don't think they were ever going to touch these. Because tweaking these is a problem, right? It's too much like hard work to tweak these because they were quite carefully balanced in the first place. It's much, much easier to just give people a new set of tools with a little bit more skill here than it is to muck about with all of these. There'll be a release candidate build playable at the BlizzCon demo area according to the BlizzCon infographic. What, for 10.2? Well, that means then before November the 3rd, it has to be like release candidate section, you know, it has to be prior. Yeah, week after BlizzCon for 10.2, I would guess. They're finishing the expansion quickly and moving on to the next one as fast as possible, it seems. Pretty much, yeah. It does start to appear that way for sure. I wasn't convinced that this was going to be the last content patch, but the more that we've seen from Blizzard, you know, simple thing. One of the things that really sealed the deal for me, more than anything else, is the permanent augment rune. That is really, really a massive indication that this is the last patch of the expansion. Or at least the last major content patch. Because as soon as they give people permanent augment runes, that's like, okay, finish your raids, we're moving into the next one. We're moving into the next expansion. They are super unlikely to give people this before the last patch. Historically, the last patch has always come with the permanent augment rune. And now that we're getting this now, that's a real big red flag saying this is definitely the last major content tier. So 11.0 in 6 months. It does lead on to when would we expect there to be an 11.0 then? Because if this ends up being the last major content patch, they could, in theory, do a 10.3 fated patch, but that's not big enough to take up too much time. It could mean that 8 months from now, so a summer expansion launch could be on the cards. Historically, though, alphas and betas usually start about 6 to 8 months before. 6 to 8 months before an expansion launch is when you start to see an alpha appear. Now, it was the alpha and the beta for Dragonflight was a lot more organized than it has been for past expansions, and very, very, very well structured. Leading to a potential alpha around Christmas if they do plan to do a summer. If they plan to do a summer launch, then alpha for the new expansion will pop up very quickly after BlizzCon. Mythic Plus community really seem to dislike the Fated season. Yeah, well, in my experience, people who engage in Mythic Plus find it very easy to complain about all sorts of stuff, so. What's a permanent augment rune? Yeah, it's you can just reuse it. It has a cooldown rather than it being consumed on use. But boys and girls, I'm going to leave it there for today. That's a little bit of an exploration of what we're likely to see coming. A bit of a rundown of new recipes for new crafting stuff. A lot of it, as you can see, is the same old, same old. Obviously, the new PvP set, they are technically new recipes, but they're like, whatever. Things of note is probably the 3 new embellishments: Dream Tender's Charm, the Conduit, Verdant Conduit, and the Verdant Tether. Time will tell which ones of those people really sort of focus in on. New weapon enchant that people will be interested in, and outside of that, not much really. Skinners, ironically, are having. If you have skinners, or you have high level, or if you have level 70 alts with spare profession slots, giving them skinning might not be a terrible idea. But yeah, that's where we stand so far. What day is it tomorrow? It's Friday tomorrow. I haven't decided what I'm doing tomorrow. Tomorrow we might just play some WoW. We might just play some WoW tomorrow. Or we do tend to do other things occasionally on a Friday. Other games or whatever. I had a bit of a busy start to the week though, so I haven't done much streaming. I could probably do with clocking in some hours, playing some WoW, doing some catch-up stuff. So that's what we might do tomorrow. So hit the follow button if you haven't already. Obviously, Twitch Primes are always welcome. Check that Prime button. Come say hi over on the Discord, and enjoy the rest of your day, boys and girls. I'll catch you all tomorrow. Have a good one. Peace.